Hey, thanks for coming to 1500ESPN.com. I'm Derek Wetmore. I'm going to tell you in this video why I think the Twins are going to win more games than Vegas thinks they are. It boils down to me to the fact that the Twins were a little bit better team than their record indicated last season. I know they weren't a good team, obviously. I mean, to finish 70-92, it's hard to argue, no, impossible to argue that they were a good team. But the Twins did have a very good offense last season. I believe they finished 7th in baseball in runs scored, 5th in the American League. If you look at the numbers after the All-Star break, it's even more impressive. According to ESPN, they were the third best team scoring runs after the All-Star break. Some of that coincides with, Danny Santana's hot streak, Kenny Vargas getting called up and putting in charge in the middle of the lineup. But the long and short of it is the Twins had a very good offensive team last year that got overshadowed by a very bad pitching staff. I think their pitching staff has gotten better. Certainly the addition of Ervin Santana will help. And while I think Phil Hughes is a good pitcher and a different pitcher than he was in New York, I don't necessarily think he'll be as good as he was last year. So maybe a small step back from Phil Hughes, but Ervin Santana is a big step forward from anybody they had last year. Ricky Nolasco is another guy. His track record indicates he's a lot better pitcher than what he showed in 2014. I expect Nolasco will have a better season, and even if it's a quietly better season, it'll help the Twins because he was awful last year, certainly more of the problem than part of the solution. This year I expect a little bit of the opposite. Then there's Kyle Gibson. Even if you think he's not a top-tier pitching prospect like some of us maybe thought he once was, he's still a useful pitcher, and I very much think that Kyle Gibson can become an innings eater for the Twins this season, especially if he ups those strikeouts. He's been working on a little bit of a changeup that he thinks is going to help him miss a few more bats this season. That'd be a very big key for the Twins. That's 4 solid starters in the rotation, then the offense. Maybe it takes a step back this year when a guy like Kenny Vargas doesn't have the unbelievable numbers he had in his rookie season. Maybe Danny Santana, same story. He doesn't have the unbelievable numbers that he put up in his rookie season. But I think there are also other guys you look around the lineup and could see a step forward. Joe Mauer is leading that list for me. I expect Joe Mauer to have more of a Joe Mauer-like season this year, even if it doesn't show up in the home runs, that kind of a thing. I think that he is an on-base machine, and we'll see line drives again from Joe Mauer this year, like we had been used to seeing in the past. Trevor Plouffe might be another guy who I think you could see putting up a solid offensive season. Brian Dozier's a good offensive second baseman. So they have bats kind of all around the lineup that you expect. Then don't forget about guys like Miguel Sano. I fully expect we're going to see Miguel Sano at Target Field sometime this season. His bat should be an addition to the lineup, even if he's still getting polished and becoming more of a complete hitter that the Twins expect he'll be in the future. Byron Buxton could be in the lineup at some point. I'm not sure his bat would be a giant upgrade at any place yet, just because we don't know what Byron Buxton's bat is going to be like this early in his major league career. Certainly a bright future for him, but you never know early in a player's career what they're going to be, what they're going to be able to contribute. So that's kind of the long and short of where I see the Twins going internally. Externally, you've got to look at the Central Division and how strong it has become. For my money, the AL Central is the best division in baseball on paper, starting right now here at the end of spring training. The pitching that the White Sox have added, with closer David Robinson getting Jeff Samardzija. Detroit's always going to be good, especially if Victor Martinez, Miguel Cabrera, and Justin Verlander can stay healthy and productive. Maybe they take a small step back this season, but they're still a good team. Don't forget the Royals went to the World Series last year and had a real shot to win the thing. I think the Royals probably take a step back, but to say that they're a bad team would be an overexaggeration, even with losing a guy like James Shields. And for me, Cleveland's the division winner. I haven't sent out my picks or anything like that yet, but I look at Cleveland as the best team in the Central right now, until they're unseeded anyways. So the Twins are going to have a better division to contend with. That leads me to the final point. If the Twins are better, but the division is much better, how can I think that they're going to have a better record than they had last season? It's in their underlying numbers. Their wins and losses were bad last season, but their run differential wasn't awful. Wins and losses, they were, of course, tied for second worst team in the American League at 70-92. That tied the Houston Astros. But their run differential was actually not terrible for a team that was so bad. They had a -62, which means the team scored 62 more runs against the Twins than the Twins scored against their opponents. Just to put that in context, that'd be 11th in the American League, knocking on the door for 10th. That doesn't put them in the same quality of competition with the teams at the bottom of the American League. For example, the Texas Rangers, the worst team in the American League last year, mostly due to injuries, minus 136, more than twice as bad of run differential as the Twins had, and only 3 more losses than the Twins had. I look at run differential as a good indicator for how good a team is, because if you're blowing teams out all the time, it means that you are very good at scoring runs, and you're very good at preventing runs. That's the essence of baseball. In the late innings, bullpens can change some things and stuff like that, but as a backbone indicator for how good a team is, you look at that kind of solid middle column. How many runs did they score? How many runs did they give up? The Twins were better at that than their record indicated last year. So I expect not only will they be improving from a 70 and 92 team, I think because they got better, you could be looking at a difference of adding 4 or 5 wins just by performing how you might expect them to. Then if they perform better, their record gets better too. It's kind of obviously the chicken and the egg kind of a thing. But for me, I look at the Twins as a better team than 70 and 92 in 2014, and I look for them to surpass that record in 2015 as well, based largely on their run differential. That'll do it for this video. Thanks for coming to 1500ESPN.com. Keep checking the website for all your Twins coverage, and follow me on Twitter, @DerekWetmore. Plenty of Twins conversation there, and feel free to tweet at me. Any questions, opinions, any of that stuff throughout the season. Happy to interact with followers any way I can. Thanks for watching this video. I'll catch you next time.